Welcome to Monk's Temple. Come in. Find your space. Perhaps you are sitting, or lying down. Let your eyes soften. Let the weight of the day, the list of tasks, the swirl of thoughts, let them all begin to settle, like sand in a still pond. We are going to take a long, gentle journey together tonight. There is no rush. Our only task is to listen, and to allow. Breathe in, and breathe out. Good. Many voices find their way to this quiet space, carrying questions that feel too heavy for ordinary conversation. Questions about purpose, about weariness, about a mind that feels tangled and a heart that wonders about its own worth. If you have ever held such questions, know that you are not alone. They are the human questions, and the wisdom to meet them is ancient, generous, and profound. It is the wisdom shared by the Buddha, a path not of adding more to your burdens, but of learning a different way to carry them. Tonight, I wish to speak to a young sister who shared her heart with us. She speaks of a struggle with laziness, of the looming shadow of exams that bring stress and a scattered mind, and beneath it all, a quiet, aching question: what is the value of my life? If these words resonate with you, if you have ever felt stuck in the mud of procrastination, dizzy from the whirlwind of anxiety, or hollowed by a sense of meaninglessness, then please, settle in. This time is for you. We will not move in a straight line from problem to solution. We will circle these truths like a gentle orbit, seeing them from new angles, bathing them in different light. We begin not in the struggle, but with the nature of the ground upon which we stand. Let me share an image with you. Imagine you are holding a closed lotus bud in your hands. It is damp from the pond, its petals tightly bound. You might look at it and think, this is just a bud. It is not yet a flower. It has no beauty, no fragrance, no value. You might feel impatient for it to open, or disappointed that it is not already in full bloom. This is how we often regard ourselves, as unfinished projects, lacking because we are not yet at some imagined destination of perfection or success. But the teachings of Buddhism invite a radical shift in perspective. The value of the lotus is not only in its final, glorious bloom. Its value is inherent in its very nature as a lotus. Its potential to open is woven into its being, right now, in your hand. The mud from which it grew is not a stain upon it, it is the essential nourishment that made its growth possible. Your feelings of laziness, your stress, your doubt, this is the mud. It is not evidence of failure. It is the very rich, dark, potent soil of your human experience. The Buddha did not teach that we must escape the mud to find purity. He taught that the purity, the Buddha nature, exists within the mud, waiting to be realized. So the first, most gentle step is to stop condemning the mud. To stop seeing yourself as flawed for feeling tired, or overwhelmed, or lost. See these states as the environment in which your growth is happening. The lotus does not fight the mud, it uses it. Can you, for just a moment, offer that same grace to your own heart? Can you see your current struggle not as a wall, but as the very ground you are meant to grow from? This leads me to a story. It is not from an ancient text, but from a memory of my own early days in the monastery. I was very young, and my task was to sweep the long stone path from the gate to the main hall every morning. It was simple, but I despised it. My mind was full of grand ideas about meditation and wisdom, and here I was, pushing dust and leaves. I thought it was worthless, a waste of my time. I would rush through it, my mind elsewhere, leaving corners untouched. One morning, the elder monk who tended the gardens saw my hurried, sloppy work. He didn't scold me. He simply said, "Come," and led me to a young bonsai tree he was shaping. It was perhaps 50 years old, miniature and exquisite. He pointed to a single, small branch he was patiently guiding with a thin wire. "This branch will take 2 more years to learn this gentle curve," he said. Then he pointed back to the path. "That path will be dusty again by noon. So why do we sweep it?" I had no answer. He smiled. "We do not sweep the path to have a clean path. We sweep the path to have a sweeping mind." Where was your mind while your hands held the broom? In that moment, I understood. I had been seeing the task as an end in itself, a pointless chore. But the elder monk saw it as the vehicle, the opportunity, for cultivating a mind that was present, careful, and attentive. The value was not in the clean stones, the value was in the mindful awareness brought to the act of cleaning them. My laziness towards the task was a rejection of the opportunity to train my own heart. From that day, sweeping became my first meditation. The path was my teacher. This is the first key the Buddha offers us when we face laziness or a sense of meaninglessness. The task before you, whether it is studying a difficult subject, getting out of bed, or dealing with a daily chore, is not merely the task. It is your broom. It is your bonsai branch. Its ultimate purpose is not just the external outcome, but the internal shaping it facilitates. When you sit to study, you are not just learning mathematics or history. You are learning patience. You are learning focus. You are learning to sit with discomfort. You are sculpting your will. The subject matter is the clay, your disciplined attention is the sculptor's hand. When you see it this way, no effort is ever wasted. Even 5 minutes of truly focused effort is 5 minutes spent strengthening the muscle of your mindfulness. The Buddha's path transforms ordinary life into a continuous training ground for the heart. And so, when the warm bed whispers to you at dawn, you can reframe the conversation. It is not a battle between comfort and misery. It is a choice between 2 kinds of work, the work of indulging the restless, grasping mind that seeks only ease, or the work of nurturing the awake, disciplined mind that seeks growth. Which mind do you wish to feed today? Which mind do you wish to strengthen for the challenges of your whole life? The choice to get up is not a punishment. It is a vote for the person you are becoming. It is an act of trust in your own potential. If this perspective feels like a new doorway, consider walking through it with us regularly. Subscribe to Monk's Temple, and let this be a shared space of gentle reminders. Your presence in this community helps this quiet temple exist. Now, let us continue our journey a little deeper, and I will share with you a story about a river and 2 kinds of boats. Thank you. Let us continue. Imagine a wide, slow-moving river. Its surface reflects the sky, but its depths are hidden. On this river, there are 2 kinds of boats. The first boat is tightly anchored. It is safe, stable, and does not drift. But it also goes nowhere. It is perpetually in the same spot, and the world flows past it. The person in this boat might watch the sunrise and sunset, see the seasons change on the banks, but they never experience the journey downstream, the new vistas, the feeling of movement. The second boat has its oars in the water. The person rows. It is effortful. The muscles ache. Sometimes the current is against them. Sometimes they must navigate around rocks or through narrow passages. But this boat travels. It sees the river from many angles. It discovers quiet inlets and broad, sunny stretches. In the gentle philosophy of Buddhism, our mind can be like either boat. Laziness, procrastination, the choice to stay in the comfortable bed, that is the anchor. It feels safe. It promises no immediate strain. But it condemns us to stagnation. We watch life flow by. Opportunities, growth, the unfolding of our own potential, from a fixed point of comfort. The effort to row, to study, to engage, to face the difficult task, that is what releases the anchor. Yes, it requires energy. Yes, there will be resistance. But this is the only way to truly journey on the river of your life. The Buddha taught that true happiness, sukha, is not found in stagnant comfort, but in the forward motion of wholesome effort. The ache in your arms from rowing is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of life, of engagement, of a journey being undertaken. I remember a man who used to visit the temple gardens. He would sit on the same bench, week after week, and sigh. He spoke often of the book he wished to write, the business he dreamed of starting, the places he longed to see. But when asked about his progress, he always had a reason. He was too tired from work, the timing wasn't right, he needed more information first. His anchor was a tapestry of impeccable logic, woven from fear and comfort. One day, he wasn't on his bench. Months later, he returned, his face changed, alive with a new light. He had, quite suddenly, lost his job. The anchor had been ripped away not by his own hand, but by circumstance. Adrift and frightened, he had been forced to row. He began writing, just a page a day. He started a small service from his home. The strange thing, he told me, is that the exhaustion I feel now is different. It is an exhaustion of doing, not of waiting. And with it comes a peace I never had on that bench. I was conserving my energy for a journey I was never taking. The anchored boat believes it is conserving energy. The rowing boat knows it is transforming energy into motion, into distance covered, into strength earned. Your studies are your oars. Each chapter read, each problem solved, is a pull against the current of ignorance and doubt. You are not just accumulating facts, you are building the strength to navigate the wider river of your future. But what of the stress that comes when we finally grasp the oars and look upstream, seeing the daunting distance to be traveled? The exams loom like a distant, treacherous rapid. The mind, in its panic, does a devastating thing, it tries to hold the entire river in its gaze at once. It sees every bend, every rapid, every mile from here to the destination. This is impossible, and the mind, overwhelmed, becomes what our sister described as clumsy. It fumbles the oars. It spins the boat in circles. It exhausts itself with the mere act of looking at the immensity of the journey. The Buddha's remedy for this is deceptively simple, profoundly practical, and lies at the heart of mindfulness: see only the next stroke. Your field of vision should not be the entire river. It should be the oar in your hands, the water it will enter, and the movement of your shoulders as you pull. In your studies, this means, for these next 20 minutes, the entire universe consists of this paragraph, this equation, this single concept. There is no exam hall next month. There is no pile of unread books. There is only this. The mind, when confined to a single, manageable point of focus, stops being clumsy. It finds its grace. It can engage deeply. This is the practice of ekagata, one-pointedness. It is not a study tip, it is a foundational training of the Buddhist path for calming the mind and penetrating the nature of reality. You are using your academic work as the very ground of your meditation. So you row for 20 minutes, with full attention. Then, you lift the oars. You let the boat drift for 5. You look at the sky. You feel the sun on your skin. You breathe. You do not use this time to fret about the rapids ahead. This is sacred rest, the space between strokes that makes the next stroke possible. Then, you place your oars again. Another 20-minute stroke. This rhythmic alternation, effort and rest, focus and release, is how rivers are traveled. It is how any great task is accomplished without burning the heart to ashes. Let me tell you a story about a painter and a vast wall. She was commissioned to paint a mural of a forest on the long, blank wall of a community hall. When she first saw the wall, she was paralyzed. It was so white, so enormous. Her mind filled with all the trees, the animals, the layers of leaves, the play of light and shadow. It seemed an impossible task. She didn't paint for days, frozen by the totality of it. Finally, she took a piece of chalk and drew a small, square grid over one small section of the wall, no bigger than a sheet of paper. She told herself, "Today, I do not paint a forest. I only fill this one square. I will paint only what belongs in this one square, perhaps a part of a branch, 3 leaves, a patch of moss." She mixed her colors and focused entirely on that single square. When it was done, she drew the next square beside it. She refused to look at the whole wall. She looked only at the square in front of her. Days turned into weeks. One square at a time. Some days she filled only one square. Other days, several. She was not painting a mural. She was faithfully filling a series of small, connected spaces. And then, one day, she stepped back. The forest was there. It was alive, coherent, beautiful. It had emerged not from a grand act of heroic will, but from a quiet, daily commitment to the one small, manageable task directly before her eyes. Your syllabus is that vast wall. Your mind, trying to see it all, becomes clumsy and stressed. But you have the chalk. You can draw your own squares. They are called 20-minute sessions. They are called single topics. Your promise to yourself is not, "I will learn everything." Your promise is, "For this time, I will be completely with this." This is the way of the Buddha. The colossal truth of nirvana is not apprehended in one blinding flash, but through the patient, mindful understanding of one breath, one sensation, one thought at a time. Apply that same sacred principle to your work. The forest of your knowledge will grow, one mindful square at a time. This approach gently disarms the anxiety about failure. If you are fully present for each stroke of the oar, for each square on the wall, you are already succeeding in the only moment that ever exists, this one. The future result becomes a secondary concern. You are building a boat of competence and a mind of focus, which are far more valuable than any single destination on the river. Let us go further. Even with our oars in hand, focused on the next stroke, the river is not always calm. Winds rise. The current shifts unexpectedly. The boat rocks. We can lose our balance. We can even capsize. The fear of this, the fear of failing an exam, of not meeting a goal, of stumbling publicly or privately, can be a paralyzing anchor in itself. It can whisper, if you might fall, why row at all? Stay safe on the shore. But the Buddha's wisdom, embodied in the first noble truth, does not shy away from this reality. It begins with it. Dukkha is often translated as suffering, but its meaning is more subtle: insecurity, unease, the inherent unpredictability and friction of life. To stumble, to fall short, to experience disappointment, this is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is a sign that you are on a living path. Only a statue never loses its balance. The teaching is not, you will not fall. The teaching is, understand the nature of the fall, and learn the art of rising. In fact, the moment of losing balance holds the most potent lesson. It shows you where your weight was distributed, where your footing was insecure, where your gaze was misplaced. A fall is not a verdict, it is information. It is the river telling you about its currents. I think of a young tree in the monastery grove after a fierce storm. It was a sapling we had planted with care, and the storm had bent it nearly to the ground. Its trunk was at a sharp angle, its roots partially exposed. My first instinct was grief. I thought it was ruined. The senior gardener saw it and said, "Now we will learn about its heart." He did not straighten it forcibly. He gently staked it, giving it support, and let it be. Over the next seasons, something remarkable happened. The tree, growing from that bent position, developed a trunk that was thicker, gnarlier, and far stronger on the side that had been stressed. It became the most wind-resistant tree in the grove. Its great strength was born directly from its moment of greatest strain. Your perceived failures, your exams that don't go as hoped, your plans that go awry, they are your storm. They bend you. They can make you feel uprooted. The Buddha's path asks you to see this not as destruction, but as a forced direction of growth. What is being strengthened in you? Perhaps it is humility. Perhaps it is resilience. Perhaps it is a clarity about what truly matters to you. The heart of the tree. Its core vitality is revealed not in fair weather, but in the storm. Your own heart, your character, is revealed and forged in response to difficulty, not in its absence. This is why the Buddha placed such emphasis on viriya, energy, effort, perseverance. It is not the effort to appear perfect and never falter. It is the effort to cultivate an unwavering heart that can meet the faltering with courage and clarity. It is the commitment to the process of rising, more than the obsession with the trophy of never falling. Think of the humble act of walking. As a toddler, you fell countless times. Each fall taught your nervous system, your muscles, about gravity, balance, and momentum. If you had defined yourself as a failure at walking after the 5th or 50th fall, you would have crawled forever. But an innate intelligence in you understood, the falling was part of the learning. You got up. You tried again. The goal was not to not fall, the goal was to learn to walk, and falling was the essential curriculum. Now, apply that innate, forgotten wisdom to your life now. An exam is not a verdict on your eternal worth. It is a step in your walk. If you stumble on this step, the intelligent being within you must do what it knew instinctively as a child: observe what happened, adjust your balance, and place your foot again. The failure is in refusing to take the next step, in deciding the walk is too hard and sitting down forever. The Buddha praised the one who continues, not the one who never stumbles. Let me share an original story. There was a master calligrapher, renowned for the power and grace of her brushstrokes. A student, desperate to emulate her, would practice a single character 10,000 times, only to crumple each attempt in frustration. It is not perfect. It lacks the spirit, he would cry. The master one day took a blank sheet and, with a fluid motion, created a breathtaking character. Then, before the ink could dry, she deliberately smudged a line with her sleeve, ruining it. The student gasped. "Why, master? It was beautiful." She looked at the ruined work calmly. "Now," she said, "it is interesting. Before, it was only technically correct. Now, it has a story. It has encountered an accident. The question is not how to avoid the smudge. The question is, what will the artist do with it?" She then took her brush, and incorporating the smudge, transformed it into a falling petal beside the character, making the whole piece more alive, more unique, and more deeply expressive than the perfect version had been. "You seek a perfect, smudgeless life," she told the student. "You fear every mistake, so you crumple your efforts. But the master is not the one who never smudges the ink. The master is the one who knows how to incorporate the smudge into the art. Your failures, your stresses, your moments of laziness, they are not flaws to be hidden. They are the smudges on the parchment of your life. Your spiritual practice is to learn, with patience and creativity, how to integrate them, how to make them part of your unique, beautiful, and human composition. This is a profound teaching from the heart of Buddhism, the transformation of kilesas, defilements like fear, laziness, doubt, into the very path of awakening. The obstacle becomes the path. The mud feeds the lotus. The smudge becomes the falling petal. Your current struggle is not something separate from your growth, it is the raw material of your growth. So, to our dear sister, and to you listening, if the results are not what you hoped, please, do not crumple the paper. Do not uproot the bent sapling. Study the smudge. Tend the roots. Ask, what is this teaching me? Where is my balance? How can this be integrated into my story? And then, with the unwavering heart the Buddha taught, make your next stroke on the parchment. The art of your life is not in its flawless presentation, but in its courageous, compassionate, and continuous creation. Let us move now from the river and the storm to the quiet center, to that deep, echoing question. What is the value of my life? When effort feels hard and results uncertain, this question can rise like a cold mist, obscuring all paths forward. It can make the oar feel too heavy to lift. In this space, the Buddha offers not a pep talk, but a revolutionary redefinition of value itself. We often hunt for value as if it is a treasure buried outside of us, in achievement, in praise, in status, in the perfect outcome. We hold out our inner bowl, waiting for the world to fill it with validating gold. And when the gold does not come, or seems to trickle away, we stare into the empty bowl and think, this is worthless. I am worthless. But the Buddha's radical insight is this: the bowl's value is not in what it holds, but in its fundamental capacity to hold. Your life is that bowl. It was empty when you arrived. It will be empty when you depart. And this emptiness is not a flaw, it is its supreme design. An already full bowl can receive nothing more. Your empty bowl is your infinite potential. It is space, it is readiness, it is freedom. The value of your life, therefore, is not a static noun to be discovered, but a dynamic verb to be performed. It is in the act of filling. And the Buddha, with great compassion, guides us on what to fill it with, the timeless, nourishing treasures of dana, generosity, sila, ethical conduct, and bhavana, mental cultivation. Every moment you choose kindness over irritation, honesty over deceit, focus over distraction, patience over rage, you are placing a jewel of genuine worth into your bowl. Studying diligently, even when tired, is an act of filling your bowl with the jewel of disciplined effort. Getting up to comfort a worried friend is filling it with the jewel of compassionate connection. These are values that no exam result can bestow and no failure can take away. They are internal, they are yours, and they accumulate in silence, making your life rich in the only currency that truly lasts, the quality of your heart. This brings me to a personal story from the temple. Years ago, a man came to us in profound despair. He was, by all external measures, successful. But he felt utterly hollow. He said, "I have spent my life filling my bowl with achievements. I have the house, the title, the awards. But I look inside and it feels empty. Like I filled it with beautiful, painted plaster instead of real gems. They have no weight. They give no light." He was describing the suffering of misdirected effort, of filling the bowl with what decays. We sat in silence for a time. Then, I asked him to do one thing with me for the next week. Each day, he was to perform one small, anonymous act of kindness with no possibility of recognition or reward. One day, he paid for the coffee of the person behind him in line and left before they could thank him. Another day, he wrote a heartfelt letter of appreciation to an old teacher and mailed it without a return address. He pulled weeds in a community garden patch. He simply listened, without offering advice, to a colleague who was struggling. When he returned a week later, his face was different. The hollow look was softened. It was strange, he said. Doing those things, there was no achievement to list. No one knew. But when I did them, for those moments, my bowl didn't feel empty. It felt purposeful. It felt connected. The bowl wasn't for me to look into anymore. It was just a vessel to carry something to someone else. He had stumbled upon the secret. One of the swiftest ways to fill your own bowl with a sense of worth is to turn your attention to filling another's. The act of giving is the receiving. So, to you who feels valueless, I offer this: if you cannot study today for your own future, study as an act of gift for your mother, who has worried for you. Make your effort a tribute to your teacher who has tried to guide you. Let your perseverance be a silent promise to the friend who believes in you. You transform the grind of duty into the grace of offering. Suddenly, you are not a lonely struggler in a room. You are a connective thread in a web of love and hope. Your bowl is being filled with the sacred substance of relationship and care. In Buddhism, this is the boundless heart of Brahmavihara, loving kindness. It begins with the intention, may my efforts somehow contribute to the ease of another. That intention alone is a gem of immeasurable value. Let me tell you a story about two gardeners. The first gardener grew flowers only for the annual competition. He nurtured them with fierce focus, but was anxious and miserable, constantly comparing his blooms to others. When he won, his joy lasted a day. When he lost, he was crushed. The second gardener grew flowers along the public path to the village well. She gave bouquets to anyone who passed. Children would stop to smell them. Tired workers would admire them. She never won a prize. One day, a traveler asked her, "Why do you grow such beautiful flowers here, where you get no award?" She smiled and said, "The award is in the seeing, not in the winning. When the child smiles, that is my blue ribbon. When the old man stops to breathe in the scent, that is my trophy. The flowers are not my valuables, they are my language. My value is in the speaking." The first gardener filled his bowl with the brittle china of trophies. The second gardener filled hers with the living gold of shared beauty. Her value was enacted, moment to moment, in connection. Your life, your studies, your presence, they are your garden. You can choose to see them as a private competition for a scarce reward, or you can choose to see them as your way of speaking beauty, effort, and courage into the world, whether anyone awards you for it or not. The latter choice builds a value that is unshakable, because it is rooted in giving, not in grasping. This perspective gently dissolves the pressure. You are not a failure if you do not win the prize. You are a success every time you choose to speak with kindness, with effort, with integrity. The value is in the choosing, in the intention, in the action itself. The Buddha taught that intention, satana, is karma. The wholesome intention behind your effort is already a complete, valuable, and positive creation in the universe, regardless of the outer outcome. Let us now weave these threads together, the lotus in the mud, the boat on the river, the bent tree, the empty bowl, into a practical tapestry, a daily practice you can begin with the very next dawn. The Buddha's path is not a philosophy to admire from a distance, it is a path to walk with your own 2 feet, one mindful step at a time. I want to tell you about the dawn bell in a small village nestled below our temple. Every morning, long before first light, a monk walks down the winding path to the village square. He strikes a large, bronze bell 3 times. Bong! 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 The sound rolls over the sleeping houses, through the mist in the rice fields. For most villagers, this is just the background of their awakening. But I once asked the oldest monk why we do this. His answer was simple: we are not ringing the bell to wake the village. We are ringing it to wake the possibility of wakefulness. Some will hear it and roll over. Some will hear it and begin their morning chores. A few will hear it and, in that moment, remember to be mindful, to offer a kind thought, to set a good intention for the day. The bell does not force anyone awake. It simply offers the invitation. Our practice is like that bell. We do not force the mind to be disciplined. We invite it, again and again, to wake up to its own potential. Your morning alarm, the first thought of the day, this is your personal dawn bell. The snooze button is the whispered lie our sister spoke of. Just 5 more minutes. In that moment, you are not choosing sleep, you are choosing to reject the invitation to your own day. You are hitting the snooze button on your own life. The practice, then, is to hear the bell, not with resentment as an end to comfort, but as an invitation to begin the sacred work of shaping your mind. When you hear it, place your feet on the floor. This is your first act of mindfulness for the day. You have accepted the invitation. You have chosen to wake up not just your body, but your intention. Now, you move to your study space. The mind, still groggy, will present you with the entire, terrifying forest of what must be done. This is when you remember the painter and her single square. You take out your metaphorical chalk. You say, for the next 20 minutes, the world is this one square. This one chapter. This one problem. You set a timer. You place the oars in the water. And you row. When the monkey mind shrieks about other subjects, other fears, you gently acknowledge it. There is a thought about the future, and you return your gaze to the single square in front of you. You are not fighting the forest. You are tending one specific, manageable part of it. This is samadhi, collectedness, in action. When the timer rings, you lift the oars. You step back for 5 minutes. You do not use this time to scroll through distractions, which is just inviting more monkeys into the cage. You look out a window. You sip water. You feel the breath in your body. You let the boat drift. This is deliberate, restorative rest. Then, you begin again. In this rhythmic dance, you are practicing the middle way the Buddha taught, neither the harsh austerity of non-stop grinding, nor the indulgence of complete avoidance. You are finding the wise, sustainable balance. And what of the inevitable stumble? What of the day when laziness wins, when focus shatters, when you feel you have failed? This is when you remember the calligrapher and the smudged ink. Do not crumple the day. Observe the smudge. Ah, I fell back into old habits. I resisted the bell. This observation itself is mindfulness, and it is a victory. Then, with the unwavering heart of the bent tree, ask, how can this be part of my art? Perhaps the lesson is that you need more rest the night before. Perhaps it is a lesson in self-compassion, reminding you that progress is not a straight line. You adjust. You make the smudge a falling petal. You restake your roots. And you ring the bell again tomorrow. Let me share a story about a path through the hills. There was a well-worn, steep path that villagers used for generations. Over centuries, every stone in the path had been worn smooth by countless footsteps. A traveler once asked a village elder, how was such a smooth path made through this rugged mountain? The elder replied, it was not made by a single person with a great plan. It was made by every person who ever walked this way, each one choosing, step after step, to place their foot in the footprint of the person before them, or to adjust it slightly for better balance. The path is not the work of one hero. It is the accumulated result of ordinary, daily journeys. Your smooth mind, your disciplined character, will be built the same way. Not by one heroic, perfect day of study, but by the accumulation of your daily, ordinary choices to place your effort in the footprint of mindfulness, again and again, until the path of your habit becomes smooth and effortless. For 3 weeks, commit to being that villager on the path. Your daily practice is your footprint. It will feel awkward at first. The stones will be sharp. You will slip. But with each day, you wear the path a little smoother. Neuroscience tells us it takes about 21 days to form a new neural pathway, a new habit. The Buddha, through experiential wisdom, taught the same: persistent practice leads to mastery. After 3 weeks, the act of rising and focusing will not be a battle. It will have become your path. You will have moved from being a prisoner of your moods to a student of your mind. This inner education is the true prize, far beyond any single exam result. Now, let us add another layer, with a story about a lamp and a mirror. A student complained to his teacher, "My mind is so dark. I cannot see my way. My studies are unclear, my future is black." The teacher lit a small oil lamp and placed it in a dark corner of the room. "See how it pushes back the darkness," he said. The student nodded. Then the teacher took a large, clean mirror and placed it behind the lamp, reflecting its light forward. The room brightened significantly. "The lamp is your own effort," said the teacher. "The mirror is your intention to reflect that light for the benefit of others, your family, your friends, the world. When you work only for yourself, your light is a single flame against the dark. When you connect your effort to a purpose beyond yourself, you place a mirror behind your flame. You double, you triple, its illumination. The darkness retreats further. Your work gains meaning and power. Do not just light your lamp. Place the mirror of compassionate purpose behind it. Let us now venture into a quieter, deeper stream of understanding. We have spoken of effort, of focus, of perseverance. But there is a companion wisdom on the Buddha's path, one that is often misunderstood, the wisdom of wise surrender. This is not surrender as defeat. It is not giving up. It is, rather, the profound and liberating act of ceasing to fight the unfightable, the ceaseless flow of reality itself. It is learning to differentiate between the rock you can move with your oar, and the current of the river you must simply understand and navigate. Imagine you are in a small boat, and you come to a vast, submerged net stretching across the river. You cannot see it, but you feel its resistance against your hull. The untrained response is to push harder, to row against it with all your might, to fight the unseen barrier until you are exhausted and frustrated. The wise navigator, feeling the resistance, stops rowing. She pauses. She dips her hand into the water to feel the net. She then carefully maneuvers, finding the edge, or a gap, or decides to portage around it. She works with the reality of the net, not against its existence. Your stress, your clumsy mind, often comes from rowing against nets you have not yet understood. One of the heaviest nets is the net of how things should be. I should not feel lazy. I should already understand this. My mind should be calm. This should be easier. Each should is a strand in the net. Your effort collides with it, and you tire yourself in a futile battle against the present moment truth of your experience. The Buddha's teaching of right view begins with seeing things as they are, Yatha Buddha, not as we insist they should be. Laziness is present. Acknowledge it. In this moment, there is laziness. This is not approval, it is clear recognition. It is dipping your hand into the water to feel the net. Only from this place of truthful acknowledgement can you choose a wise response, perhaps a short walk to energize the body, perhaps a kinder dialogue with yourself about rest. Let me share a story about a young monk assigned to care for a stubborn, old donkey named Asoka. The donkey had a mind of its own. If you tried to pull him where he didn't want to go, he would plant his feet and not budge, no matter how hard you tugged. The young monk would pull and plead, growing angry and exhausted. One day, the elder monk saw this struggle. He said nothing, but walked to a nearby tree and picked a handful of ripe, sweet berries. He walked ahead of Asoka, just out of reach, and let the donkey see and smell the berries. Then, he walked slowly forward, shaking the berries in his hand. Asoka, enticed, began to follow. No pulling was needed. The elder monk turned and said, "You were fighting with Asoka. You were trying to command his will. But even a donkey has his own nature. Your job is not to fight his nature, but to understand it and guide it with wisdom. Your mind is much the same. You cannot command it to focus through force. You must understand its nature. It seeks pleasure, avoids pain, and guide it wisely toward wholesome nourishment. Your mind, like Asoka, resists brute force. The should is a harsh pull on the rope. The enticing berry is the promise of the satisfaction of understanding, the peace of completion, the self-respect of effort. You guide your mind not by scolding it for its laziness, but by skillfully placing the berry of a meaningful, manageable goal just ahead. Let's just complete this one page, and then we can have a cup of tea. You are working with the mind's nature, not against it. This is upayakausalya, skillful means, a central tenet of Buddhist practice. This wise surrender also applies to the fruit of your efforts. You can plant the seed, water it, and tend the seedling with all the right effort. But you cannot force it to grow faster than its nature, or to flower out of season. You surrender the outcome to the complex web of conditions. In your studies, you can give your focused, honest effort for 3 weeks. That is your domain. The exact grade on the exam is the result of 1,000 conditions, the questions asked, your health that day, the grader's mood. To row against the net of demanding a specific result is to invite suffering. Do your part with full heart, and then, with wisdom, surrender the outcome. This surrender is not passivity, it is the ultimate act of trust in the law of cause and effect. You have planted good seeds. You can rest in that knowledge, come what may. I will tell you a story of a master sculptor who worked for a year on a statue from a single block of marble. On the day it was nearly complete, a flaw in the stone, hidden until then, cracked open, ruining the statue's face. His apprentices were devastated. The master looked at the ruined work for a long time. Then he said, "The stone has spoken. It told me it did not want to be that statue." He spent the next month studying the new shape imposed by the crack. Eventually, he carved an entirely different, more powerful figure, one whose bowed head and flowing lines incorporated the crack as a stream of tears. It became his most celebrated work. He did not fight the flaw in the stone. He surrendered his original plan. He listened to the reality of the material, and found a new, more authentic creation within it. Your life is that block of marble. Your plans are your initial design. Exams, setbacks, unexpected difficulties, these are the flaws and cracks that appear. You can waste your spirit fighting them, lamenting the ruined perfect statue you envisioned. Or, you can pause, surrender the old blueprint, and ask with curiosity, what new, more resilient shape does this reality allow? What stronger, more compassionate person can be carved from this experience? The crack of a failed exam might carve in you a deeper humility, a greater determination, or a clearer sense of your true interests. The Buddha taught anicca, impermanence and change. Wise surrender is the art of flowing with that change, of being a creative, responsive sculptor of your character amidst life's inevitable revisions. This is the peace that lies on the other side of the struggle. It is the peace of the navigator who has learned to read the river, not curse it. It is the peace of the gardener who tends the seed but does not tug the sprout. It is the deep, quiet confidence that you have the tools to meet whatever net you encounter, not with a frantic battle, but with a patient, discerning touch. You are learning to be in harmony with life as it is, while diligently working to cultivate the good within it. This harmonious effort is effortless effort. It is the river itself doing the work of carrying the boat that is no longer anchored and no longer rowing against the current, but is skillfully aligned with the flow. Now, let us widen our gaze. We have looked closely at the lotus, the boat, the path. Let us now step back and behold the entire forest, the whole vast river delta. For the feeling of being alone in your struggle, of your effort being a small, isolated thing in an uncaring universe, is one of the heaviest burdens. Buddhism offers a magnificent and healing antidote to this loneliness, the teaching of praditya samutpada, dependent origination, or interconnectedness. Nothing exists in isolation. Your breath is connected to the air nourished by trees. The paper in your book is connected to the rain, the logger, the mill. Your effort is connected to every teacher who ever passed on knowledge, to every ancestor who struggled to survive so that you might have this chance to learn. You are not a solitary rower on a lonely river. You are a single, vital cell in a vast, living, breathing organism. Your struggle with laziness is not your private failing, it is a human experience, shared by countless others across time, including the Buddha himself before his awakening. Your stress about exams is a ripple in a great ocean of human striving. Seeing this does not diminish your challenge, it embeds it in meaning. You are participating in something universal. The human journey toward understanding, competence, and growth. I want to tell you a story about an old tapestry that hung in a forgotten corner of the temple. It was dusty, its colors faded. To a casual glance, it was a meaningless jumble of threads on the backside, loose ends, knots, chaotic tangles of color going nowhere. It looked messy, flawed, and ugly. One day, a child, curious, managed to turn it around. The front of the tapestry was revealed. A magnificent scene of a bodhisattva surrounded by a flourishing garden, every flower and leaf exquisitely detailed. What was a confusing knot on the back was the petal of a lotus on the front. What was a loose, dangling thread on the back was the delicate stem of a blade of grass on the front. The backside was not a mistake, it was the necessary, hidden structure of the beautiful image. From the limited perspective of your current moment, the backside of the tapestry. Your life may look like a mess of loose ends, fatigue, confusion, doubt, pressure. You see only the knots and tangles. But the Buddha's teaching assures us there is a front side, a coherent, beautiful, and purposeful picture being woven from the totality of your experiences, including these difficult threads. You cannot see it yet because you are in the middle of the weaving. Your faithful effort, your patient endurance, your kind intentions. These are the colored threads you are contributing to a grand design whose full beauty you are not meant to see all at once. Trust that the master weaver, the law of karma, the interconnected nature of reality, is using even your darkest threads to create contrast, depth, and meaning in the final picture. This perspective invites a profound kindness toward yourself. You are not a failed weaver because you have knots. You are a necessary thread in a process far grander than your individual perspective. Your responsibility is not to control the entire tapestry, but to be the best, most vibrant, strongest thread you can be in this present stitch. Show up for this study session. Be fully present for this conversation. Infuse this moment with patience. That is your perfect contribution to the whole. Let me share a memory. In my early walks through the forest surrounding the temple, I would often find spiders' webs glistening with morning dew. Each web was a masterpiece of geometry, but also incredibly fragile. A strong wind, a passing animal, could destroy it. I felt a sorrow for the spider's labor, so easily undone. Then, one morning after a storm, I saw a spider on a shattered web. It did not linger in despair over the ruined architecture. It immediately began to spin again. It did not rebuild the old web exactly. It used the remaining anchor lines and began a new pattern, adapted to the changed conditions of the branches. I realized the spider's genius was not in building a permanent, unbreakable web. Its genius was in its unwavering commitment to the act of weaving. The web was a temporary expression of its inherent nature to create connection. Your knowledge, your plans, your current life situation, these are like the web. They will be challenged, they will change, they may even shatter. Your essence is not the web. Your essence is the weaver. The Buddha nature within you is that indefatigable, creative, connecting intelligence that can always begin again, that can always spin a new understanding, a new effort, a new kindness from the raw silk of the present moment. This understanding dissolves the pressure of permanence. You are not building a fortress that must never crack. You are practicing the art of weaving, which includes the art of graceful repair and fearless reweaving. An exam is not a verdict on your eternal web. It is merely one morning's dew on a single strand. See it in its true proportion. Now, consider the mountain and the rain. A single raindrop falling on a mountain peak seems insignificant. It does not shout, "I will erode this stone." But over centuries, countless raindrops, each one simple and soft, carve deep canyons and shape mighty cliffs. Your 20-minute study sessions are your raindrops. Alone, they feel small. But with consistency, they will carve canyons of knowledge in your mind, shape cliffs of resilience in your character. You do not need to be a torrent. You need only to be a faithful, gentle, persistent drip. The mountain of ignorance cannot withstand the patient, continual falling of the rain of your mindful effort. This is the quiet, unstoppable power of gentle persistence taught in the Dhammapada. Drop by drop is the water pot filled. So, when you feel small, remember the raindrop and the canyon. When you feel messy, remember you are seeing the back of the tapestry. When you feel fragile, remember you are the weaver, not the web. You are connected to all who strive, you are part of a beautiful, unfolding pattern, and your consistent, small efforts are how the universe accomplishes its grandest transformations, through countless, dedicated, humble acts. We have journeyed together through many landscapes of the heart. We have spoken of mud and lotuses, rivers and boats, storms and bent trees, empty bowls and woven tapestries. We have explored effort and surrender, solitude and connection. Now, as we draw our shared contemplation to a close, let us gather all these insights not as separate pieces of advice, but as a single, integrated understanding, a gentle compass for your path forward. The Buddha's teachings ultimately guide us toward an unshakable inner refuge. Not a refuge from life's difficulties, but a refuge within them. A peace that is not dependent on everything going right, but on your relationship to things going as they do. This refuge is built on 3 pillars. Understanding the nature of your mind, compassionately engaging with your experience, and connecting your small story to the great story of all beings. I want to leave you with one final, original story. There was a village that held an annual festival of lights. As dusk fell, every household would place a single lit lantern outside their door. One year, a great storm blew in just as the festival was to begin. Wind and rain lashed the village. People peered from their windows at the dark, stormy street and thought, "It is useless. My small light will be blown out immediately. There will be no festival." So, no one lit their lantern. The village remained in darkness, each person alone, waiting for the storm to pass. But in one small house at the edge of the village, an elderly woman did not look at the storm. She looked at the lantern itself, the wick, the oil, the glass chimney. She thought, "My task is not to control the storm. My task is to light the lantern and shelter it as best I can." She lit her lamp and placed it on her sheltered porch, behind a column. It flickered, but it burned. A child across the street saw the pinpoint of light. He thought, "If her light can burn, perhaps mine can too." He lit his and placed it in a sheltered nook. One by one, seeing the courageous lights of their neighbors, others followed. They did not place their lanterns in the open street to be extinguished. They placed them in doorways, under eaves, in windowsills. The storm still raged. But now, across the village, hundreds of small, sheltered lights glimmered like steadfast stars against the dark. The festival did not look as it had in fair weather, but it was, in its own way, more beautiful, a testament not to perfect conditions, but to collective, resilient glow. Your mind, your spirit, is that lantern. The storm is your stress, your deadlines, your fears, your fatigue. The world may say, "Wait for the storm to pass." It is useless to try. The Buddha's way is the way of the old woman. Your duty is not to stop the storm. Your duty is to light your lantern, to make the effort, to cultivate the good, and to shelter it wisely. Shelter it with the column of your 20-minute focus. Shelter it with the eave of your self-compassion when you stumble. Shelter it with the windowsill of your connection to others. And when you do, you become a beacon not just for yourself, but for others who are also watching in the dark. Your persistent light gives others permission to light theirs. This is the Bodhisattva spirit in everyday life, the courage to tend your own flame in the storm, for the benefit of all. So, to our dear sister who wrote, and to you who have listened, this is your practice now. When laziness comes, do not condemn the mud. Remember the lotus. Your potential is within this very feeling. Place your feet on the floor. That is your first victory. When stress overwhelms, do not stare at the whole forest. Find your single square. Pick up your oars for just 20 minutes. The river can only be crossed stroke by stroke. When you stumble and fall, do not crumple the paper. Study the smudge. Ask what it can teach you. Then, with the unwavering heart of the tree that grew stronger from the bend, rise. This rising is your greatest strength. When you feel empty and valueless, remember the bowl. Its purpose is to be filled. Fill it today with one act of kind attention, to your studies as a gift to your future self, to a friend as a gift of connection. Value is a verb you perform. When you are lost in the knots and tangles, remember you are seeing the back of the tapestry. Trust that a beautiful pattern is being woven. Be the best thread you can be in this present stitch. And when the storm rages, light your lantern anyway. Shelter it with mindfulness. And look up to see the other lights flickering bravely around you. You are never truly alone in this. For the next 3 weeks, be the gardener of this understanding. Water it with your daily effort. Do not judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant. The harvest of a peaceful, capable, and compassionate mind is assured. You are a student in the greatest school there is, the school of your own life. The Buddha is the teacher who points the way, but your own mindful experience is the curriculum. There is no final exam, only a lifelong, loving practice of awakening. May you, dear one, be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you live with ease. May your heart find the deep refuge that cannot be shaken by passing storms. May you see your own light, and in doing so, help illuminate the world. This has been Monk's Temple. Thank you for walking this path with us. Until we meet again in stillness, be gentle, be brave, and never, ever give up on the infinite potential that rests, like a lotus bud, within your own beautiful heart.